today I wanted to update you on the current coronavirus situation here in Hong Kong. It has unfortunately gotten worse. But first, let's go grab some lunch and then we can talk about the coronavirus. Bamboo scaffolding is actually still very common here in Hong Kong. So it goes to show just how strong and sturdy bamboo actually is. Hello. So today I wanted to give you an update on the coronavirus situation here in Hong Kong because unfortunately things have taken a turn for the worse. This time 1 month ago we saw one case. This time 2 months ago we also just saw one new case. This time 3 months ago we actually saw no new cases. But in recent weeks things have changed. The numbers have slowly started to increase again and we started to see around 50 to 60 new cases every day. So at this point, the government decided to bring back some of the restrictions that they brought in a few months ago. So things like closing public facilities like swimming pools and libraries, and also limiting the number of people that can gather in public spaces. And wearing a mask in public indoor spaces also became compulsory, and wearing a mask on public transport also became compulsory. This isn't too much of an issue here in Hong Kong because everyone has been wearing a mask since January, February anyway, but now the government has actually made it mandatory for people to wear masks in indoor spaces. A ban on dining in at restaurants has also been introduced, so you can't eat at restaurants after 6 p.m. You can, however, still have breakfast and lunch at restaurants, so I'm guessing that they just wanted to introduce the restrictions a bit more gradually because these are actually the strictest restrictions that we've had in this city ever since this pandemic started. But these restrictions didn't seem to be helping, and the number of cases kept increasing. In the past few days, we've seen over 100 new cases each day, along with maybe around 1 or 2 deaths as well, unfortunately. And remember the stats that I mentioned earlier, we were seeing around 1 or 2 cases each day just a few months ago. So you can imagine just how upset and confused I am with the numbers that we're seeing at the moment. So now the government has ramped up restrictions even more. So we are now at the strictest level that we have been in since this whole pandemic started. So from Wednesday, the 29th of July, wearing a mask will become compulsory anytime you're in an outdoor area. All public gatherings are limited to 2 people, but that excludes family members from the same household, but still 2 people. And dining in at restaurants will also be banned, so breakfast, lunch and dinner are all out of the question. So today is the last day that I can eat out for probably the next few weeks until we see a dramatic drop in the numbers, which is why I decided to go out for lunch today. Now, I do remember saying last week that I was going to give you the second half of the conversation between the bride and groom. But because of the sudden change in situation here in Hong Kong, I thought that this update would be quite interesting for you, even though I don't have good news, unfortunately. How is your city actually? Is it faring better or worse than Hong Kong? Let me know in the comments below. So because this coronavirus update is this week's video, I will continue the listening practice conversation next week. So you actually have 1 extra week to listen to the first half if you haven't already done so. So I'll put a link up here and also down in the description below to that video. Thank you for watching today's video. I know it wasn't the happiest of updates, but I hope you still learnt a new word or 2. Keep practicing, stay safe out there, and as you can see, it's even more important here in Hong Kong at the moment. I shall see you next time. Bye. So I just got home and there was a note in our mailbox from building management basically saying that food delivery drivers can no longer enter the building. So if you order any food, you actually have to go downstairs to collect it. Isn't that great? The restrictions are tightening more and more. So I will give you an update in a few weeks' time, and hopefully I will have better news for you then. Bye.